Mr. D'Amico.
Morning. I don't know if I'm Joe D'Amico, Port Discovery. So getting older, I think I'm getting smarter, and so I'm constantly hearing things. And one thing I wanted to comment on, though, before I get into that, was about this. I looked at this Blackmore Consulting thing in the agenda packet. One thing that I saw in there that was interesting is that under the insurance requirement, every contract, and I contract with a lot of folks, everything from DOD to government to mom and pops, and almost always there's an insurance requirement in there of an amount. You just have like subsection RCW 43.02 or something like that, which has no limits of liability. I've entered into no contract where I've not had to at least have $1 million worth of coverage or $500,000 worth of coverage. I see that in the automobile section that you have $500,000 coverage, but you do not have under general liability, and you're being held harmless in there also in the agreement. So I would add that have some kind of a, and you be added as additional insured. That's always in the packet, so that you know that they have insurance, and that if it's canceled, you're notified immediately. That should be in every contract you have. I don't see that in that agreement. So, and the same with the automobile coverage. So that would be one thing. The other thing is it says, be in compliance with all state laws, this, that, and the other. One thing when I looked at our bird tag, who did all your hearing examiners, who held all of his hearings, a lot of them in Port Townsend here, he didn't have a business license with the city of Port Townsend. I mean, the city of Port Townsend's owed B&O tax for all of the hearings that Irv Burtag did for 20 years. And I remember I did check on that. I haven't checked to see if they have a business license. But if they don't, they need to have one. So you should check into that. I know that I have one, and every time I do something in Port Townsend, I got to have my accountant put that off to the side and say that we did it in Port Townsend. Getting back to this non-conforming thing, you guys, if you would have followed my instructions over 2 years ago of finding out all of the non-conforming uses in the county by having them register in some manner, either through business licenses or health and safety or anything that you would know that answer. You could call up BCD today and get that done. The other thing is economic well-being. I heard that there was more head trauma. I was listening to some doctor talk about how head traumas are up for children because of domestic violence, and he said it was because of economic well-being. Getting back to my discussion last week, you three gentlemen are very powerful. Economic well-being has to do with the people sitting in the jail, alcoholism, all of the social issues that you guys talk about is, with your health background, has to do if you have a good paying job and you are happy, less of this stuff is going to be happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to be next?